Vlad the Impaler. In the shadowed valleys of 15th century Eastern Europe, where mountains swallowed the sun and kingdoms died overnight, one man rose with a hunger for vengeance that reshaped the land. A ruler whose punishments became nightmares. A prince whose name still hisses through history like a cold wind. Vlad III Dracula, the Impaler. Tonight we uncover the full, unfiltered descent of the Blood Prince. Vlad was born in 1431 in the fortress city of Sighisoara. His father, Vlad Dracula, swore loyalty to the Order of the Dragon, an elite brotherhood sworn to defend Christendom. From this oath came Vlad's name, Dracula, son of the dragon. But the boy's life shattered early. The Ottoman Empire demanded hostages to ensure his father's obedience. Vlad, barely a teenager, and his younger brother Radu were taken across the Danube. In the Ottoman courts, the young prince witnessed cruelty not as punishment, but as spectacle. Executions, whippings, the screams of prisoners echoing through stone chambers. This world of calculated fear carved deep into him. He learned that terror is a language, a weapon, a throne. Years later, he was released, but not as the child they captured. He returned as something far colder. When Vlad returned home in 1456, Wallachia was hanging by a thread. Lords murdered kings, kings murdered lords. Every alliance was a knife waiting for a back. The boyars, the noble class one, had betrayed his father and watched him die. Vlad's hatred for them simmered like molten iron. During his coronation feast, he invited the boyars with false courtesy. The halls filled with music, then with soldiers. Some nobles were dragged outside and impaled immediately. Others were forced into a march so brutal that their bones cracked under their own weight. Those who survived the trek were worked to death building Vlad's fortress at Ponari. Vlad's message was unmistakable. Treason had an artist now, and he painted with bodies. The impalement became the symbol of his reign, an execution method he perfected to a chilling science. Victims were raised slowly onto thick wooden stakes, careful not to pierce vital organs. This ensured hours, sometimes days, of unimaginable suffering. Foreign travelers wrote of entire hills turned into forests of the dead. Bodies arranged in spirals, circles, long corridors of rigid, rotting sentinels watching the roads. Criminals vanished. Thieves fled. Murder rates dropped as if the land itself held its breath. To some, Vlad was a tyrant. To others, he was the iron fist that finally crushed corruption. When the Ottoman Sultan demanded tribute, Vlad refused and impaled the Sultan's envoys. War ignited. The Sultan sent an army larger than anything Wallachia had ever faced. Vlad answered with fire. He burned his own fields, emptied villages, poisoned wells. He created a wasteland, forcing the invading armies to starve on their march. But the true horror came at Târgoviște. When the Ottoman soldiers approached the capital, they stopped dead in their tracks. Before them stood a field of 20,000 impaled men, women and deserters, a grotesque landscape of bodies swaying in the wind like broken statues. Hardened warriors wept. Some dropped their weapons. Others said they felt as if they had walked into hell itself. The Sultan retreated. Fear had accomplished what swords could not. Yet power in Wallachia was a candle in a storm. Alliances crumbled. Friends became conspirators. Even his brother Radu returned as an Ottoman ally. Vlad was captured by the Hungarian king and imprisoned for 12 long years. When he was finally released, he reclaimed his throne one last time. But Wallachia had changed. In a winter clash against enemy forces, Vlad fought to the death. He was found surrounded by corpses, his armor split, his sword red to the hilt. His head was severed and sent in honey to the Ottoman Sultan, a trophy from a ruler who once made empires shiver. Centuries later, writers twisted his name into legend. Dracula became the immortal vampire of novels and films, but the real Vlad was far darker than any creature of folklore. He didn't drink blood. He spilled it. He bathed nations in fear, using terror as a weapon sharper than any blade. To some, he was a hero who rid his land of thieves and traitors. To others, he was a nightmare carved into the pages of history. One thing is certain. No man ruled through dread as completely as Vlad the Impaler. If you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications for more stories like this. Thanks for watching.